Hello everyone and welcome into yet another live stream. Let's open the unpaid uprising and there we go. It is day number 183, no 182 and festive. Yeah. So here's the thing. This is obviously another, whoops, we don't have a level yet, don't save. This is obviously yet another video game making live stream. I think as you could tell by the obvious presence of Unreal Engine on my screen. But yeah, that's what we'll be doing today. But today will be a bit more exciting because you see, instead of doing some boring stuff like procedural animations or whatnot, we'll be actually doing guns. Plural because two of them. That's why plural. Last time, I don't remember, but this is the final result. Which looks pretty decent. Oh my goodness, the range on that still hits those mountains. Okay, that appears to be the limit too. Yeah, so the animation is a bit funky when you look down, but oh well. There we go, this is the result from last time. And it's alright. It's alright with, well, I suppose one main issue being the fact that actually, not really an issue. I don't think there are any issues, which is surprising. There should be some. Hi, the Turfta. Welcome. So here's what I would like to do on day stream, because this gun is graphics only. It's nothing. It's really nothing. It's just a model other than binding the hand. It's. I could have just replaced it with a block and would be the same thing. That's why today I wanted to add something to it to actually make it into a gun. First of all, I'll have to kind of generalize and change a bit the general blueprint for weapons. Then after I'm done with that, I'll have to load in another gun. Well, not load it in, only use it. This is the other gun. It's this one. This is the other gun. And I would really like to load it in, and actually I just realized, can I like get them together? I suppose with scenes. Command that has a scene transform can be attached to the scene components. Maybe the scene scene gun 1 perfection. I actually have no idea how I'm going to do it, because I'll have to. No, there's point. There's gun 1 will fix it. Yeah, and I have Adobe Substance Painter. If anyway. Oh, actually, oh yeah, I know that one. I actually remember I was checking. It was really sad when I realized that I didn't have any of the Adobe 3D tools in the Creative Cloud, because Substance Painter is one of the better ones. But I don't. Well, maybe for the bot actually, because I know this, but the bot is kind of bland. Yeah, I feel like this up and down thing. And I also feel like this actually might be a simple issue because of the camera being so far back. Well, that's not what I meant. Viewport. I kind of closed the viewport. I did not mean to. Event graph, not quite. How do you open viewport? That's how you open the viewport. Lovely. This a bit forward. How's that? Still funky, but it definitely helped. Yeah, when looking up, I'm kind of not that worried about this animation kind of breaking. I could obviously also fix it, but what kind of person would do that? Did it fit what box? What now? What's this now? Oh, adapted crabbers. Ground is for the love of crab. Oh yes, crabs and spreads. Yeah, oh, I should, I should definitely have like at least one boost, which would be power of the crab. When you turn to crabism in game, you just get buffs for it. Oh yeah, I was adding weapons. That's right, guns. Now here's the thing. I actually don't quite know how to bite this yet. So let's just do some thinking, and let's just do some thinking. And in order to do some thinking, I'll just weapons, fire heavy. Yeah, open this. In order to do some thinking, I'll just use this project because I'll be able to animate and think about how to approach certain things. So BP fire, no, it's BP idle, dual. There we go. Diventa is actually a pun because diventa is become in Italian, and also D as in dual, like dioxide, whatever. I know why dioxide is actually first thing comes to my mind, and venta is when it's a actually many languages in there. Doesn't matter. The point is, diventa is for dual because it's the most basic dual weapon, and that's why I want to kind of try it as the dual. And for it, we'll have to first set up an idle animation. Now, our right side is still the one that's more heavily focused. If we think about the binaries. Why is this? Oh yeah, this is rotated because, oh my goodness, there we go. Well, oh, that, I think I might have broke it a bit. It's fine. There we go. I'm not doing it exactly because imperfection is digital perfection, as some smart people say. And this is what I'll do. I also should reset the spine to be more equal, yeah. And then we'll have to move this forward. I should play some music. This a bit forward because, as I said, we're still focusing more on our right weapon. There we go. Is that good? I don't think so. Let me just get this. I have no idea why is my taskbar breaking, but it is. It's very upsetting. So kind of fat rat, I think, fits, right? As anything, so it's a very gamey, not gamey, wait, that could be the wrong word. Game-like music. Fat rat always fits, yeah, exactly. There we go. So now, back to this thing, and yeah. Dual weapon will unfortunately have to do something with the fingers, which is awkward because this thumb is still not cooperating with me. Considering how the weapon looks, I'm guessing one finger on the trigger, 3 fingers not, which means 3 fingers actually could be straight, because I think it might not be noticeable, and this one actually curved, yeah, that's exact. And then we'll have to bind the weapon to this finger actually. That we'll have to set up not a socket because we don't have a skeletal mesh. Something on the trigger, bind the trigger to this. Actually no, we can just bind the gun. Oh yeah, that's way simpler. And over here we do the same thing, like this. And we'll have to fix the thumb. What actually happened to this thumb? Completely different. Oh yeah, usually when you have something, you grab it from both sides. I'm an idiot. Thumb actually works for the first time. It's... yeah, oh, that actually fits. You can throw the weapon inside. Yeah, okay. For the first time, the thumb isn't screwing up. Thumbs, can you imagine? Who needs them anyway? Who needs those thumbs? Ridiculous. There we go. That's the idle. This is the idle dual weapon, which I'm pretty certain should be static frame. And now we just select, you know, the drill. Let's select everything like this without the camera. Don't select the camera. And export as FBX. Select the objects without any leave bones, and in exported main character, no arms, yes, idle dual, yeah, yes, export. There we go. Now we'll also need a fire, which, if I'm not mistaken, was 12 frames long. So fire. How large are those files? 21 megabytes each. That means 5 is 100 megabytes. That means 50 files is a gigabyte. That's actually not as large as it could be. Okay, I can live with that. FPS fire dual. So about this weapon system, how do I do it? I feel like for every weapon I should set up the firing thing alone, I should set up the animations alone, I should set up everything alone. Which means basically I actually wouldn't need that much. If all of the logic is happening in the sub weapon, then yeah, I guess. Alright, now fire is simple because when you're firing, all that's happening is these two move back. So 12 right here. We bind the location of this. We also bind the location of. I wonder which way should I turn this? I could turn it this way. Yeah, forward, exactly. So all of these. And then on the 5th frame, we move this forward like so. Actually, I think I like it with the gun static. The machine gun. I might actually later on add the machine gun to the game. It's not hard because I can rotate this bone, these two bones. I can rotate them directly using Unreal Engine, which basically means I can just bind the rotation of this bone to a variable, and then when the variable well, not quite bind it, but like change it with the variable, and basically when it increases. They shouldn't fire at the same time, should they? No, that'll be silly. But at the same time they are light, which means they'll fire quicker. So like this. Should they be 1:1 offset? Yes. But okay, if it will break, then I'll just remake it, it's fine. This I could set up a separate animation for either side, but then I'll have to blend them, and oof, that'll be a whole thing. So no thank you. FBX selected with no leaf bones, you remembered, how neat. Not idle, only fire. There we go, export. I didn't export all of them, so let's re-export it. Selected objects with no leaf bones, fire dual, overwrite. Festive. Now you have those animations. It's time for the fun bit. And this is the fun bit, actually. It is the fun bit. I'm thinking about this for a while yesterday, but I still have no. Well, I have like 10 ideas, but don't really have that many optimal ones. Because we have this heavy blueprint, right? Which, when it constructs, it sets the child actor class to master BP. When it constructs. Which basically means we could just do on equip weapon, right? We could take this and we could change it like so. And so right now I'm pretty certain that, wait, that's actually, ooh, that's a very nice solution. Oh, that's a very nice solution. Oh, it's a very nice solution. Will it work? Okay, let me first bind equip to something. So, player. That could be a very nice solution. Input, in production, let's call it EA debug. Do I have a debug? I don't have a debug. So debug, and debug will be on something ridiculous, like O. Debug. There we go. We have the debug, and now in BP player, in the event graph. My goodness, I have a lot of things open. In the event graph, input action debug, equip. I need to get it from the action. Fire action is from the get heavy weapon, which is already suboptimal because it should be get held weapon. Actually, no, get heavy weapon. Oh, because it's just getting the. Okay, equip. There we go. Okay, it's not. Oh, it is breaking. I was about to say it's not breaking. Well, it is. Ah, boy. Attempted to access destroyed BP destroyed. All of these are destroyed blueprints. Huh. Child actor class. No, there isn't set. There isn't like change or anything. So this, which means we need to change it to a different class, which means we need to change it to something like. Wait, this is Master BP, which is set to BP Master Militaria. No, BP Master Militaria inside of weapons. We have BP Heavy Militaria, but we are not setting it to BP Heavy Militaria. That's interesting. We are setting it to BP Master Militaria. That's bad. That's really bad. Why aren't we setting it to BP Heavy Militaria? Oh, that's bad. That is oof. Oh, pretty horrible. Now we see it is pretty horrible because that would mean that the logic would be here, which I'm not completely comfortable with. Well then, event graph. We have nothing in event graph except for this, which means you get parent actor and set as a BP player. We have the master blueprint, but this master blueprint is a master militaria, not a. Caramba. Why? Isn't logic here? Heavy general, little reference. Master militaria, yes. How is this even working? I don't get it, honestly. Because over here, this is doing the FPS to heavy. So this is doing the fire thing. If I break this link, compile, play, I'm no longer able to fire. Yeah. So this is the fire thing. Cool. But then, if this is doing the fire, can it do fire when it's not loaded? Because that would certainly cause some issues. High hits gun with self. Self gun is okay. I have no idea how it's working. Heavy general. Why are you loading in the master military and stuff? BP. Oh, Master Militaria. No, wait, that's the BP Heavy Militaria. This. Wouldn't exactly call that an improvement, although. Oh yeah, because it's right. Yeah. Wait, one thing though. Isn't this the? No, it isn't because I didn't press it. Well. That's great. So this works. It doesn't quite actually. It doesn't quite. But what's really nice is that we can change BP master defend. It's actually we shouldn't be able to do that, but we can. If we want to switch a weapon, we can just switch it. There we go. That's a different weapon. It still got errors. That's actually a good sign. Let's see if now we'll get errors. We don't. That's a bad sign. That's a bad sign because it means that this script only works with one kind of weapon. Which is bad because we want it to work with multiple kinds of weapons. Fudge. That's what I would call it, fudge. Is there any script right here? Nope. Not great. It's not great. I really don't get it. How is it? Why and how is it working? I made this script. How is it work? Get heavy weapon. Right now, what's doing is weapon BP. Get the child actor. Yeah, but also we need to switch the get heavy weapon. Because right now we're casting it to BP heavy militario and we shouldn't really be. Should be casting it to whatever it is. It's firing because that fire is inside heavy militaria. Yes, it is. Now this fire has self as a get self reference maybe. Reference to self. Or maybe reference to the mesh. Master reference, this, get, put it, oh, that doesn't work, great. BP heavy general object reference. That's not quite what I would be looking for. Because in fire hitscan, it is set to ignore the BP player, and it's also set to ignore self-gun. Self-gun, which is Master Militaria. Plugged it into the wrong thing. That's what I did. Now in heavy general, if we then go here, and if we change in the construction script, master BP to BP heavy militaria, we are getting a lot of issues. Oh boy. Fire hitscan, what's your issue? Fire hitscan, event graph function. Trying to read property BP master reference. So BP master reference is not actually being a BP master reference, even though you're getting this. Print string BP master. Do you have a single thing that I can read? Like get class name, get name, class name, class get class. Can I just like pop class in here? I can actually, surprisingly. A display name, okay. So when it was created, it prints nothing. Print string. It prints nothing. When in reality, if we change it from, if we change this to BP master, then it prints the correct thing. BP master militaria C. That's pretty bad. Not what should happen. BP master militaria child. Get actor of class because that actor doesn't exist. That's the issue. What if we get the child vegan and we cast to BP? That's the issue. We have to cast it to this BP Master Militaria. Cast to BP Master Militaria. There we go. Cast this object. Didn't seem to be quite as compatible as we'd like, but oh well. And now, if there will be an issue, then tell us hello. Warning! Does not inherit from child actor components. I know. Unfortunately, I do know. Child vegan. Yeah, I know. But can you like always fail? Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it too much. Just you said hello. Not great. Although it probably didn't compile even. Back One Day is a song which I use when I'm driving at fast speeds whilst dangerously disregarding all the safety protocols, so unfortunately I cannot play it here because my adrenaline spikes up whenever I hear it, but oh boy, this is a mess, that's what it is. You mean to tell me that this only walked when it wasn't supposed to walk? Why would it walk right now? I mean, I get why it would walk, I don't get why it wouldn't walk when I just switch it to BP Heavy Militaria. No errors. Thing is, BP Master Militaria, the only thing this blueprint has, the only thing is just this mesh right here. This. Well, this is Master. It's Master Venta. Master Military is here. No. Master Military. I don't have it open. Maybe Master Military does have something. That would explain it. Please tell me you have something. Anything. No? Anything! Nothing! Not great. I'm guessing that the cast is failing because there is no actor. That cool distance squared. I don't even. No. Heavy general. I mean, okay, this actually does make sense. This would, yeah, okay, this would break. That would make sense. What doesn't quite make sense is this. Is it because you're setting child actor class to yourself? Because that could be it. Prime construction. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Okay. Yeah, I'm such an idiot. We can switch it to BP Master Event. I'm such an idiot. Okay. But right now it breaks. Exactly, yes. It breaks because we are playing it as Heavy Militaria still, right? In event graph. Please tell me I'm right. So child actor as Diventa. Okay, so if I play it right now, obviously it would break. So BP Master Militaria, thank you. does that, and O, but it breaks, so it kind of works. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Oh, that's why it doesn't. Oh, because you're setting it to yourself. Got it. What if I get? What if in equip I set master BP to BP master Deventer, and then I use it here? It actually worked. I mean, obviously it worked. Obviously I was expecting it to work. Why wouldn't it work? Yes. Okay. Festive. That's good. That's good. That's really good news. That's kind of good news. Kind of. Because the issue is we can switch the... Actually, not that good of news. The issue is... The issue is we can change the looks, we can't really change the functionality, which is suboptimal. Where do we set the functionality actually? Wait, is the player holding the master, the heavy militaria instead of weapon BP? Oh, unless you're setting in the player. That would make sense. But then you have to set it on the beginning. In get heavy weapon, no. In the construction script, heavy militaria, yes! Yes, okay, okay, so now we take this. Festive! Now we know how to change a weapon. Took long enough. Basically, what we have to do is in over here, this is all we do. Trigger it, and we just change the weapon to the blueprint we want to change it to. I could set it up as a function actually, and I should. Function change weapon, and basically we start like this, and now this is okay. This is going back to feeling like programming. That's good. That's a good sign. Already sign that I'm getting dumber. I'm getting smarter with dumber. No other choice. New weapon class, which would be an actor. That's the issue. This type will class reference actor. I want this to be in actor. Damn it. Actor class reference. Please tell me generalized will work. It will. Okay, festive. Festive. Okay, great. So now we have this function, which then plays equip. Equip being kind of okay. So we play equip, but also over here we should, as BP heavy militaria, set where heavy military. Okay, you do wait. You have because we're casting as a BP militaria. I can see the issue. I don't want you to do it as BP heavy military. Actually, I would like you to do it as weapon BP. Why are we using this? Can I somehow check where some part of a script is being used? That like Control F. Cast to get heavy weapon. I love this. This is amazing. Get heavy weapon fire. Kind of. Get heavy weapon and return. No, this isn't get weapon. Get weapon, which would be just generalized, which means that we don't actually care about get weapon. We can delete the get weapon. I didn't even affect a single thing. No, it didn't. Cool. Change weapon, which is the new thing, which gets get heavy weapon. Here's the thing. can I, in get heavy weapon, right? Could I just cast it to do I even need to cast it? Like is that the thing that I need to do? If I do BP heavy general, not military, never switches the way I wanted to. BP heavy, I have to use my mouse, it's pain. Oh no, it did switch. As BP, so general weapon. And will this be fine? Actor, okay, child actor component object reference. Child actor component object reference, you say. How about I do this? Weapon BP. So like just get a weapon BP. Hiding in the Blue, very good song. Get a weapon BP. Yeah, I knew it. General, yeah, because I want to be a wet. Child actor component object reference not compatible with BP heavy general object reference. BP heavy general object reference, that's what you want. I can get that. Cast to BP. Cast to BP heavy general. What's this? BP heavy general does not inherit from child actor component. This weapon BP is the child actor component, but this child actor component at the same time is kind of the weapon BP. Yeah, think about that. That's crazy. BP heavy this BP heavy general. You are ridiculous. Okay. BP heavy. Can I like get BP heavy general? This is the thing. This is the exact same thing. I know it's a child, but children can be scary too. They could walk. It just trust me, engine. Just compile it. Don't worry about the types. Boy. You are by definition BP heavy general, yet I cannot cast you to BP heavy general. Because the engine tells me that it will always fail. Huh. It really shouldn't always fail. I don't really have any other idea on how to get the BP heavy general, because that's where it's used. Kind of the only place where it's used. Child active component, child active component, but that child active component is the. Can I somehow get the child actor class? Like, get child actor class? Kind of. We're getting warmer. So we can get this class. Now, oh boy. How do we take this class? Okay, so we have a class and we have an actor, but we need. Okay, so we have a class, we have a child actor of this class, but we need a actor of this class, which is not a child actor, even though it being a child actor changes nothing. Because this is the correct one. Get object gets actor of class. This is the thing. It worked. Cool. Cool. It worked. Sick. I'm pretty certain. What is this? This should be the same thing as this. But who am I to I don't know nothing at this point. Will it break? It didn't. Surprisingly, that's fantastic. Actually, we just generalized it. That's great. Great. I feel like in C again. No. In C++. In C doesn't care that much about death types. C++ cares about the types of pointers, which is ridiculous. Alright. When you're calling with pointers in C, like, there's no difference between int, char, short, whatever. You just remember those. You just remember the type and then you always use pointers. Treat everything else as a void array. Okay. Now. What now? Well, now we would like to set it up so that after we press O. Oh, that's not good. Ah, not quite. I pressed O and the weapon didn't change. It's a bad sign because it's not a bad sign. Change weapon. Okay, it's not a bad sign. Change to the BP. Ah, I see. The weapon change would require me to child actor class and weapon BP, which is the heavy heavy general, would change its child class in order to change the mesh, and it would also change its. You would set the child actor class of the weapon itself, which would then change from its heavy general. Oh boy, you would change it from heavy general. That's not great. Oh, but you on the beginning say, oh, never mind, it's fine. Yeah, then all we need right now is a script for the Diventa weapon. Festive. So heavy general, create child blueprint, and BP Diventa. Now we have BP Diventa. Here's what we're gonna do. Child the gun. We have to change you, unfortunately. I'm sorry, you have to change. You have to change. You're carrying guns everywhere around. It's getting ridiculous. How do we change it? Well, we actually be really annoying because we'll also probably need a different animation for every weapon. Because right now we're making dual pistols. And that actually will be a bigger issue than I thought. Because we'll have to change our animations per weapon. Each weapon will have its own set of animations, which means we'll have to change the animations. Now, this normally wouldn't be a problem if I was doing it in C. Sorry, I couldn't go in C, this is my main thing, right? So, if I was doing, that wouldn't be a problem. Just have the animation data in each gun, and then just save it to this animation data to a pointer and have this pointer accessed in the player blueprint. Not a problem. The thing is, we can't really do that here because the engine would yell at me for doing something like that. And I honestly wouldn't be even mad. I mean, that would be pretty outrageous. And because of that, we have to find a way in order that would basically change the animations of BP player based on the gun it's holding. But we want this data to stay in the gun, not in the BP player. Which means, let me draw it for you, alright? So here's what's happening. Here's what we have. We have the BP player, right? So first of all, we have the BP player. Then in this BP player, we have a child, which is the BP weapon, right? And then this child is getting a blueprint of a BP heavy general, from which it is getting a child. Well, technically it's getting only this, because this is the child of the BP heavy general. So let me just, this is BP player, and this is a BP weapon general. This is BP weapon militaria. Alright, and then we also have another one right here, ball, which would be the BP weapon and divinity, right? And here's what's happening. Right now, we also have the skeleton with its animations, and we also have the animation blueprint. So when we are starting the game, we are just getting from these animation blueprint animations, which are stored somewhere else, by the way, like this. So we have the animation. We have the animations, and then we also have the animation blueprint. And then this is applying animation to the skeletal mesh. But what we need from this, okay, what we need from this is we also need a separate set of animations, anim2, which is not a problem, I don't mind animating, and then we have to link them to the animation blueprint, but we need to make it conditional based on these blueprints, like this. Which means that if the player switches a weapon to a different kind, then this weapon has to let this animation blueprint know that it should stop using these animations, should start using these animations, in order to then apply these animations to the skeletal mesh. So from the player, we get the child of this weapon BP, from which we get the general weapon BP, from which we get the child weapon BP class, either the militaria or divinity, depending on the weapon. And then in that weapon, we need to get those animations, and then either from that point, or we have to go all the way back with those animations and then switch them in the animation blueprint, which is outside of this entire loop thing. It's simple, honestly. It's simple. No? I've spent 47 minutes. I've spent some 47 minutes to get this point. Great. Fantastic. Oh boy. Okay. So, how do they do it? First, let's start by importing animations. Player, visual, animations, FP Diventa. So basically, Tefta, whilst you will have to do, like different icons for every weapon, I'll have to do every weapon separately. It won't be that I would just, I won't be just replacing the mesh. I'll have to do separate mesh, animations, logic, basically separate blueprint. Every weapon would be created from scratch. Which is not how normal game developers do things. Well, I suppose in Doom, every weapon was made from scratch, because every weapon does work differently in there. My taskbar, once again, not working on the other side. So we need from weapons, there we go. And we need... I'm pretty certain that there's... It was made in Doom, that would make sense. So, I export to arms, idle dual, and without the mesh, this is the skeletal mesh, animation next import, and idle, no, and fire dual. No mesh, this is the mesh. Import. Festive, those two important. Well, I suppose I should switch this into a montage. Maybe I should actually also switch this one to a montage. Can I make montages of montages? Like a slot of slots in the animation blueprint. Can I? How can I switch these? Over here we are playing the idle. Is there like an if or sequence player? Just general sequence. could be it. That could be it. If we have a sequence player, if we can access it from, yeah, I know, error, no animation, I get it. But if we have a sequence player, like, true, no, not comment, sequence. What are the cool sequence things can we do? We can blend, no. If we can access this specific sequence, is the tag? There's a tag, that's a good sign. Main sequence. If we can access this sequence from the child weapon blueprint, then our problem is solved. Because then what we can do, that's actually pretty nice, because then in master BP heavy militaria, we would on begin play, we would need to get the animation blueprint somehow. Animation blueprint, can I just drop it in? No, that would be too easy. Were you playing the montage? Over here, playing the montage of this. Is it like get sequence by get sequence evaluator? That's what you need. Sequence evaluator. No, wait. Get sequence animation sequence by no. Get sequence by tag. That's what I would be looking for. You know, that's kind of what I would be going for. Because then on begin play, we could just change it to this specific weapon idle, which would be nice. Unreal Engine 5 change sequence. Modify sequence with another blueprint, maybe. Started with blueprints, not good. This is Fortnite, my goodness. We're approaching clickbait levels, which shouldn't even be possible. Okay, so active sequence. Active sequence can be a component. No, not quite. Use blueprints. I have another blueprint. Use animation blueprint. This I have another blueprint. Get animation blueprint. Cast to animation blueprint. Maybe. I have no idea what I'm doing. Did I mention that? Yeah, that's one of the things. Yeah, I would like to access it in other. So just like you can play the montage, I would like to change the sequence. Cast to an MVP. Get animation instance. Get animation mode. Not. I don't know. Animation mode doesn't quite. Animation sequence. Set anime. Set sequence. Okay, that may be it, but like set. Display name, no. Set. Oh boy. Okay, what else is in the sequence? You. Sequence player. What's the difference between you? You have the tag. Is there anything else? You have the sequence selected, obviously. Which means that if we go back to the Venta, am I doing? Why am I Militaria? Yes, Militaria, exactly, because Militaria is raised up. So like, get sequence by no. Oh boy, this one requires sequence player. Get sequence player. This one gets animation sequence. Animation data model. I'm guessing that would be the animation blueprint. Get sequence by tag. Wait, what does the sequence take in as an input actually? Takes in animation sequence. Well, okay, fix right there. Yeah, so if I could just access this. Synchronization, alignment. Yeah, that makes no sense. If I could get access to this thing right here. That would be great. Come on, give me something. Something. How am I supposed to access this? It's like even get animation blue. Get animation mode. That's the only one still. Sequence. If the target does not implement the required interface. Set anim instant class 2. Wait, those variables are inside FPS mesh. Inside FPS mesh. These are these ones. Anim class. So yeah, we can get anim class. Get cast to AB FPS class. Okay. What now? Get sequence. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I've gotten this far. I have this class. Mention data maybe? Over here in the player. FPS, animation mode, animation class. Class is what we are looking for, I suppose. And I would just like to edit this class. But how? Well, sequence evaluator. What's this? Specified animation on the single. No. Idle sequence. Sequence sequence player. No, it needed to be a sequence player. Yeah. Sequence player reference. Get in. Okay. Now play sequence. Animation sequence. I don't think so. This note doesn't even fit. I I got a sequence. So like get sequence by current sequence of the sequence evaluator of the sequence player. Yeah, sequence player being sequence player cast to actor sequence player player context from I'd like to get the sequence player by tag. By tag. By tag. Binding? What? Says binding. No. idle sequence, by the way. Rename. Sequence. Sequence player. There's set sequence. How can you use it? Set a sequence player sequence. Yeah, but how do you get a sequence player? Set sequence. Get sequence. No, get sequence player. That should be it. Sequence interval begins 28 minutes.
Hey there, everyone. What I wanted to build.
Scripting. Are you getting the sequence player in any one of them? By any chance?
We're gonna minimize this. It says instance.
Level sequence to play. And from that you're getting the sequence player.
It's not assigned to anything. We're gonna go ahead and fix this issue.
Is the sequence player something
We're gonna
completely
have to go
different?
back into our blueprint. And the first thing, same thing. Now, if they are the same thing, what do we want to have happen? We want to play our level sequence, and we need a way to do that. So how we're going to add a reference to the level sequence we want to play is with a variable. So I'm going to go down to variables. I'm going to hit the plus sign, and I'm going to call it level sequence to play. All right, now we want it after.
I don't think that's what we are looking for.
Hey everybody, today we are going to learn how to create a blueprint so that you can play a level sequence. I've been working on my environment and I added this church. And let's say you want to do a really cool drone shot like this. Well, I tapped T on my keyboard and that played that simple.
Not quite what we are looking for, is
a
it?
cinematic sequence, and I made a short on how to do this. Number 2, print here. The first sequence, what here in gold, the first
This is
step.
level sequence player, uncoupled level sequence player. Master sequence. If this was going to be another sequence player,
How's it going, everybody?
with level sequence.
Now, kind of seek master. I another you want one even render, but like here we are. One beginning, we are making Unreal. I have and so Unreal is the to work already. How a matter this path, not everything on this player you want to do it into shot.
Okay, here's the thing. Wait, can I just add no sequence without the sequence player or anything? Just sequence. Sequence. Animation composite, animation montage, blend space, post, set, advanced, control rig. Legacy is not helpful, is it? Oh boy. Why does it say plural animation graphs when you can't add another one? That's funky. unless I need to create a different animation blueprint for all of them. I mean, that's a solution. It's not a good one. It is not a good one. Nope. FPS Deventa. Because I could just go in, right? It's the exact same blueprint. I could just go in and do the exact same thing, except FPS idle dual. Not evaluator. FPS idle play this. And I could, like, you know, compile this. There we go, it plays correctly. And now I could just do it in such a way so that must heavy general, yeah. Actually, no, wait. BP Deventa, yeah. Over here. No, wait, right here. Yeah. So basically, you would take the animation class and set an instance class, and we would basically, I think that's the correct one. Is it? Basically change it to this and break this link. This will be like this, and then by default, in order to actually check if it works, I would like to set this to be animation Deventa. Yeah, so first we have to check if it works. No, that we'll have to do it like this. Yeah, the animation is completely screwed up. And now if we plug it in, that's such a dumb fix. Oh, that's such an idiotic fix. Alright, if we press O, it broke. That's not good. But it could be worse. So basically, we pressed O, and when we press O, we would like to switch it to child actor class to no. Change it to no selected, exactly. BPD Venta. And now in BPD Venta we have to go through this exact same process, and we have to get all of these. Is in the construction? No, it's in the begin play. I feel like it might be a bit dangerous having it in action. No, it's fine. Promote variable general reference. Right, because this one clearly isn't quite working. And promote variable BP master reference. Now we press O, our gun should lose its functionality but should switch. The animation didn't switch because it was wrong. And now yes, weapon switch works. We switched. Now here's what we need to do. Also, we have to go to this, and on the right and left thingy, we'll have to change like its position. Preview animation, idle. I can. Great. Dual. Festive. You can stop its static animation. And basically, I would need to add a socket to his or her hand index 4. That sounds to me like a thingy. It is a thingy. And yeah, that sounds like a... So hand index 4. Yeah. Add socket, dual gun left, and then hand index but right, and add socket, gun dual gun right. There we go, we have 2 sockets, and now we can use them to add preview asset and event. BP. Can I add a blueprint? No? And it needs to be a mesh. That's a kind of problem, because, you know, with mesh kind of... That's a bit of an issue. Wait, did I align the gun in the wrong place, by the way? Did I align it over here? Did I? I don't think I did. It doesn't seem quite aligned. I think I aligned it to the socket. I hope so, because otherwise we would be in quite a pickle. Alright, and more coffee. It's been how long? Hour and 16, okay. We're not terribly behind. We are behind, don't get me wrong, but not terribly. Because I don't know if you remember, I also wanted to add the gun functionality today, and I am still stuck on the generalization, so yeah, that's festive. In order to add those guns, it's a ever so slightly more problematic because this is bound to a socket. With them, we would need 2 of them, which is the problem because our entire script is set up to only add 1. Whoops! BB heavy child with a gun. Rename it to child with one of 2 children with 2 guns. And this one would be other one of 2 children. Alright, cool. Can I like drop him up? Oh boy. Why are these children inside? Inherited cannot be replaced. I don't want it to be root then. I want to add a scene which would be root. No, I don't really care that much honestly if this isn't the root. Root. De-rooted. I don't want it to be a root. I cannot delete this one. That's festive. It's because I was doing it in the wrong one. Got it. Understood. Whoops. Add scene root, which would be a root. And now we have 3 children with guns. Cool. Very cool, some might even say. So rename, get me this. Rename, get me this. There we go. We have 3 children with guns. They don't need naming convention. Oh, by the way, we have 5 hits gun in this. That's oh yeah, that actually makes sense. So child with a gun, we are setting this like so, and the other 2 should be empty. Will there be any problem if they are empty? Doesn't appear. Like, can I also remove child like? Okay, so in the Venta. Now this is actually very bad because then we'll have to clean it up for all the guns every single time. We could set up in BB player event graph change weapon. Here we have this weapon BP. Set child actor class to. Oh wait, we are changing the class of the entire weapon BP. Which means that if we don't set it in here, if we take this away, and then in BP player we do on the beginning change weapon as part of our thing. Change weapon. With this weapon being... We could do a variable actually. Starting weapon. Which would be a... actor class. There we go, generalized, works, lovely. And after compilation it would be the BP heavy military. Yeah, it worked, but at the same time you could already see that was wrong because this line is green, and green means that the trace is hitting something. We could switch it though, that's festive. Fire hit scan has a problem now. Because in fire hit scan we are setting specific things to ignore. BP master reference, and the master is... Is it not being set up? Should be set up, right? Master reference is the BP master military. Get master reference. No, nothing should change here, right? Should it? What do we switch? We switch it so that it's no longer set up during construction. Is that an issue? Could be. Could really be. We could set it up as a default, I suppose. We are setting up in the player. But then what we could also do... Ooh, that's a decent idea actually. I mean, you know what, I'll leave it here. I don't know, might come in handy. But in heavy general, in the construction script, we could get this back, but instead of getting master VP, we could take the get player character, get character, get BP player, no, get as BP player, and then from it get starting weapon, and there we go. Festive. That's even worse. That's okay. That's even worse. Festive. Very festive. It broke before we even logged in. Set child actor class. Non-trial BP player. Okay, so as BP player didn't work, let me guess, because we didn't set up BP player yet at the time of this. Great. So this has to be in the construction script, but at the same time cannot be in the construction script. Can this be in the construction script though? I'm guessing that means no. No, we did fix that. That's good. BP master reference is broken. May I wonder why? I mean, I may, but can I do something about that? Can I wonder and I can figure it out? Get actor of a class. That would mean that there is no actor of a class BP master militaria, which would mean that there is some... Okay, so it is colliding with something. Oh, it's because it's not getting this. It actually makes sense. I know this is not optimal. This is actually something that people might call quite suboptimal. This to the thing. This here. No, that's... Okay, so we just cannot get the BP... So, okay, so BP master reference what and how? There is no reference. BP master reference. Oh wait, did I completely miss that? No, BP master reference. BP master military is set as a BP master reference, yeah. Unless the BP master reference inside hit scan. So gun. No. That's weird because that shouldn't happen, you know, that's a very weird error. Because it couldn't get the value of BP master reference when no BP master reference was also used over here. That explains it. Which gives us an issue, or basically, which looks like this. This is not getting an actor of a class. It's not getting actor of a class because there is no actor of a class. It's after parent begin play, but after parent begins play, when parent begins play, it's casting this to the player, but in construction script, it's setting this technically to the class, but in practice something is off. What is off? Just starting weapon, BP heavy military, that's correct. So that's our issue. If we just get it as a master BP right now, what's happening? We are getting no problems. So that's the issue. Okay, how about we print hello before we go on. Okay, we definitely did get some hellos. And how about then we do this? So basically we get the master BP to remove any unnecessary errors. And what's happening? BP master military C. That's correct. How about now we take this and add it to the string, so that we get instead BP heavy military C still. That's interesting. That's the same thing. Yet this one isn't working. Even though it's the exact same thing. Even though it's the exact same thing, the second one isn't working. What happens if we do set master BP? Because it is the exact same thing, so there should be no difference. We should have two print strings, right? First one before, second one after, and we should compare them. Heavy versus master. What's this? This is master. Let me get, and I am loading in heavy. It's not the same thing. That explains it. Okay, so player BP master. No errors. That's great. That's a great way to do it, actually. Yeah, that's a good way to, well, not great, but a good way, definitely a good way. And now we'll also have to set the master BP, actually, because we can just have a master BP as a random thing like this to make sure there's no problems. Festive. Okay, great. This is wonderful because you see, if we go to BB player, if we set the starting weapon, well, to be fair, it's kind of also a bit suboptimal, because if we go over here, then we set BP master Deventer for the equip. Okay, there's no problems here yet. We just get the starting weapon. We set these things. Starting weapon as a mesh. And in BP player, our weapon BP is the heavy general. Wait, how do we equip the exact thing? Debug, we change it to Deventer. Wait a second, that's a good question. We do the heavy weapon, right? Which only, how do we access logic? I don't know. I am lost at this point. I am so lost at this point. One of these is loading in the weapon. This is the mouse. This is begin play, which is getting the controller. Yeah, boring. Jump, fire, crouch, changed. Movement mode, jumped, landed. Movement, nothing interesting. Unless it's on construction script. Set child actor. There we go. Festive. So the way we should actually do it is having starting weapon and then starting weapon functional, which is similar, which default value should be BP heavy. And now in event graph, after we switch the weapon like so, we should switch it to the... Okay, this is the starting weapon, alright, makes sense. Which means after we change this, this is what we have to change. We have to change it to Deventa and then BP Deventa. No errors. No errors. Festive. This is neat. Now in BPD, so right now after we press O, not only do we switch the general look of the weapon, we also switch the weapon itself. That's actually great because that's it. That's it. Now, this is a very dumb system, let's be real. But now, well, we don't even have the fire prepared. Well, we do have multiple weapons prepared system. That's already a good start. So here's the thing. I have 2 cups of coffee, each half filled. One is filled with double espresso filled with milk, which sounds... Actually, I know why I made them as espresso, just to flood it with milk. Because the second I just made double coffee. But then you have less milk. That's why I made an espresso. See, I like my coffee flavored milk. And the other one is normal coffee, normal white coffee. And both are half full because I drank them the past 2 hours. And I'm really excited to see how long it takes me before my heart just stops. Alright, so now what we need is fire. Oh boy. No, wait. First we need to set up the kind of dummy functionality for the Deventa. Just to... Oh yeah, and also set up the animation. How do we want to do animation? Oh yeah, we wanted to switch. Oh wait, we did set up. Oh! I am so glad we did that. Okay, this is heavy general, and we are looking heavy military. Construction script has nothing. Mwah! Perfection, exactly what we are looking for. And then all of these we take, we bring them to Deventa as a start. We already have them as Deventa. That's great, fantastic, wonderful, amazing. The only issue is we kind of will need to differently set up these children with a gun. So in heavy, oh, don't tell me the logic for this isn't heavy. It is. No, shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be. I really don't want it to be in heavy. I really prefer it to be in Deventa. Equip. Wait, no. Equip. Please walk. So far, no problems. No problems. Oh, fantastic. That's fantastic, because right now what we can do is we don't need to do child vegan, and you can do one of two children. There we go. Yeah, I don't know, coffee, mostly caffeine, and also other like performance enhancers, which I am not really like legally allowed to talk about on YouTube, mostly due to worry about my channel not being. Oh yeah, oh you mean like late? Oh yeah. So basically, wait. Did first of all no errors, which is really neat, but also I'm walking forward right now. Okay, but that's the old error, right? That's just collision. Why is there no collision here? I remember I fixed that, but I wasn't expecting to have a problem with that in here. Collision? There's no physics. There is physics. No, there is no physics. There's no physics in these. Okay. Okay, so we didn't have a problem when we set the gun to when we gave a gun to the child with a gun, but we have the problem since we. Okay, so we didn't have a problem when we gave a gun to a child, but we have a problem after we gave a gun to both of the children. We're outmatched. There are too many children with guns. All right. Why? Yeah, let's go down that rabbit hole. Weapon BP. It's Hunger by the Father Adam preset was the song. I'm always confused with the Monkeys because it's from the same. It was released at the same time, and the beginning kind of sounds similar. If you don't know which song is playing, then I'm this eye when I don't know which song is playing. I get confused. Oh wait, maybe Master Deventa just has collision on. Please tell me you have collision on and just. But then why wouldn't you affect your why wouldn't you affect collision early on? Ah no, just have collision enabled. Collision presets, no collision. Yeah. Yes, festive. I really feel like I should have done something epic for this drop, but yeah, well. So, right now, this is great. This is fantastic, actually. This is really fantastic, because right now this one is parented to a socket. Is it? It's not. It's not parented to a socket. How did I parent it to the socket? How did I parent it to the socket? Is this parented to a socket? It's very much not. Is don't tell me that the heavy is. Oh, is this parented to the socket? Oh no, 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 no. That's annoying. That's very annoying. Okay, I mean, we could just get all of these weapon translation. All of these, we could just get them to a heavy general as a offset course. Fuck it. Which would be a transform, yeah. And like during construction, just set it. So set offset cause fuck it, and split to all of these festive, and now we just set it festive. No, let me just set up from the second stream. I won't be able to read chat for a second. I'm very sorry, even though the chat sounds up, but and this. completely, alright. And all of these are the same thing. There we go, cool. Now what we can do is we can remove this transform, zero it completely. And what we'll do is we'll basically apply it. First move the socket and apply it. Hopefully it will work. I don't know. Okay, cool. Festive. So set child actor class, exactly. Now can I apply, so transform, set what or relative? Relative to its parent, yeah, I think that would be appropriate. And don't crash. No need that you not crash, you're so aligned correctly. That's great, it's festive. Now, I probably will have to set up a different transform for all of these sockets, but oh, who cares. And now in BB Player we'll have to remove the socket, grip point heavy. We'll have to apply it to the gun. Now that we removed it, the gun will look completely different. As you can see, it is behind me. I won't be able to show you. It's behind me. Can't. But we can set the socket of the child of the gun, right? So heavy. This is a problem because this would only work for the heavy gun, which means I probably should set it in heavy military or whatever. Fudge sticks. Keep on dying. Socket. I would need to more kind of set the socket. So like parent socket. Can I set parent socket? That's the issue. Socket, I need to add it. Set socket. This is monkeys, right? I think. Sounds like monkeys. Unreal Engine 5 set socket with a node. Is this? I mean, no, monkeys will start completely differently. I'm so off. What's this? Out of the Rain. That's the one I always forget about. Add socket. Yeah, but I would like to edit the socket with a node, if I may. That would be preferable. Attach actor to actor. Yes. Oh yeah. Attach. No wonder I couldn't find it. There's no sock in the name. Attach actor to component. Problem. No, I don't really have the access to the parent. Well, I may actually. What do I need to get? Attach child actor. So self. Okay. I mean, this could work. It's ridiculous. It only is. Who am I to judge? I only made this. I'm only making this. Who am I to judge? This is filled with so many ridiculous solutions, actually. Honestly. Getting to play and in BP heavy military, right? Yes, festive. This will be the heavy socket. BP player and skeleton, actually, FPS idle. Right hand sock. This is a sock for the right hand. There we go. And parent. Who will be the parent? Well, who else if not the... Who was the parent? The FPS mesh. Okay, that's festive because we already have the FPS mesh here. And now, if I could just ask you a simple request, please just walk. Just walk. Kinda close. It's close. No errors. That, wow. It's actually much better than I mean, obviously I had faith, but I wasn't expecting it to go well. I'm not an idiot. It worked. Okay, maybe I just... What happens if I don't set the translation actually? Because this one has to be like relative anyway, so it doesn't matter. How off are we then? We are off. I think it's mostly due to the fact that guns are relative or something. Well, you know, these weird reasons. And basically... get and set offset because fuck it. Split. I'm sorry, this what I meant. Now I have to copy it manually. $90. Is it the exact same thing? It's not. I can't quite tell where the gun is. Based on the shadow. I think it's on the right. Oh, it actually broke. Huh. Wait, I didn't even use that. What broke? Set. It couldn't set it because it couldn't access it. Well, correction. Offset. And just set it. Set this thing. Even this part, absolutely not what I meant. Correction offset as a transform. Transform is such a lovely data type, honestly. It's a matrixy. It brings me back to my Vulcan days. Except over there were 4 dimensions because there was math. If you wanted 3-dimensional, you needed 4 dimensions because that's how matrices work. And you basically needed the last one in order to sum the things. It was fun. Now we shouldn't break. You don't, that's festive. And now just use it to... That's a good question actually. What I do? I did transform. No wait, it will be easier with self. Viewport, if I may. I closed the thing. What are components? How do I open components? I'm having a problem with these and it's ridiculous. Components. There we go. Well, not quite there. But that would be perfect. Now, what I want is I want to set root. This is monkeys. Which is makes more sense, certainly. I mean, you know, it starts with saying, you know, you're just not a monkey. Trying to fire but don't know how. You're alone in jungle now, trying to survive. You're alone in the jungle now, make a fire but don't know how. You're alone in the jungle now, full of stupid monkeys. Monkeys think they're really smart, always knew it from the start. Interesting, so they both don't work, but they're kind of close. Aren't they? You're just another monkey. You know it's 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 just another monkey. Okay, so X is completely not what I'm looking for. If this is X, Y, which would mean 0. Oh no. Okay, better. Not quite there. So 10, and let's try negative 60. Oh yeah, because it's rotated by 90. Okay, that's why. Okay, it's the way to do it, I mentioned. If you're trying to correct something, it's better to do it with more logic and less of this. 20. And also scale this way of 1, 1, 1. What if I... You're really smart, always knew it from the start. You have fire, you have... You could save the planet, but there's stupid monkeys everywhere. They don't give a heck, no, they don't care. Just they only share. They don't show their prayers. Oh, we're just another monkey. Just another monkey. How I offset it correctly? And what was the problem with that offset? Well, what wasn't the problem with that offset? Am I right? Nope, 90 was correct. Relative wouldn't be the right one then. Set world transform of the root. I could also play it to self. No, I can't. I was lying. Okay. So what's the issue with this? Apart from the obvious. We reset the... We're transferring the wrong thing. That's what the issue. We shouldn't be doing it with the root. We should do it to... Player... Along in the jungle now, fire but don't know how. They're alone in the desert now, trying to survive. They're alone in the desert now, we wanna make a fire but don't know how. They're alone in the desert now, you're a stupid monkey. You know that you're really smart, always knew it from the start. You have fire, you have heart. DP weapon? Come on. It's right here. Weapon VP, I'm an idiot. Never mind. Anything with weapon VP, just get this. There we go. If not, then just relative. Okay, so relative. Run, we run. So run of what we are. No, really? That's ridiculous. That's what fixed it. Oh, but the socket is... The other thing has the socket now. That explains it. Ah! Annoying. Will not lie. To be fair, I might actually be an idiot. I might have done it completely wrong. Let me just get these things out of here. I'll still keep them just in case I'm wrong. And Lord knows that I might be wrong. But what if I go over here to the right hand sock? Wait, it shouldn't even be a right hand sock. Should it? Dual gun right? No, it should be right hand sock. Okay, I'm correct. And then add preview asset Militaria. Now let's add it in. Because that's how it's supposed to be done, actually. Preview animation, idle, heavy, if I may. Thank you. Jungle down. Jungle now. Fire, but don't know how. They're alone in the desert now, trying to survive. They're alone in the desert now. How about now? I'm a genius. Yes! This is great! You know why this is great? Because it's actually just great. It's great! It's wonderful! It's exactly what we needed! Not gonna lie, I was expecting there to be a lot of problems, but before you actually start to work on something, you don't know what these problems will be. And so I was really terrified of this stream because I knew that those problems will be hard. Now, when this stream started, when I started encountering those problems, they were tough because, you know, last live stream, I spent the entire stream just following a tutorial. But so far, we fixed every single one in like really decent time. We don't even need to cast this right now. We can just ignore, we can just reduce this cast. There we go. And now what's really great about that is that we can go to Diventa. And when are we doing this? We are doing it in begin play. Alright, we can move these to the right. Add this. And here's where it gets fun. As PvP play, attack at FP mesh and self. I don't quite want to do it to self. Oh, here was where it gets not so much fun. Because I actually want to do it with child, not attach actor. Attach. Component to component. Shouldn't have been actor. Should have been attach component to component. Child with a gun. Yeah. Now child with a gun and this as a mesh and the socket name right hand sock. Please walk. Yes! 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 That's exactly what we needed. This is great. You know why this is great? Because right now we can go to Diventa, remove this complete BS, add this thing once. Alright. Like this. Add this thing a second time. Pass it to here. And instead of child vegan, we'll have the other one and the one of two. Doesn't matter which actually. An FPS mesh right here, and instead of these, whatever they were, we'll have the dual gun left and dual gun right. Dual gun left and dual gun right. And now we'll set the child actor class of both of these to the appropriate thing. Now we press play. If we hit O, no errors, first of all, that's already good news. But we should switch them for now to BP Master Militaria. Then we should just double them. But it does seem like I have two guns, so that's good. Now if we go to Diventa, if we BP master Deventa. If we go to FPS idle, if we change the preview animation to idle dual, and then remove but legends never die. One last time I live for something and feel my blood, it's rushing, this saying goodbye. We'll be back someday. We'll find our own way. I feel like it's too big. Okay, I'm sorry, but this wouldn't fit now, so I have to reset that. No, maybe it's not too big. Maybe it's actually appropriate size. I could make it a bit smaller. Okay, scale by 0.1. Only bigger. Last time let's live for something. Can hear my blood is saying goodbye. We'll be back someday. This is the way it should be. Which means it has to be larger. Damn it, it's still not ideal. There we go. So this has to be even larger, which is a problem because right now it's starting to get larger than our militaria, which is not how it's supposed to be. But at least the size doesn't fit, it's too large. Good, because I don't want it to be that large. Now the size kind of fits. Alright, great. So that's one of the guns. Well, its rotation is a bit off. 2.5, can I get 2.5? There we go. And move it to the right. Exactly. And now on the dual gun right, we also add, well, first let's remove this preview asset, remove selected. No, don't continue then. Preview only. Then remove the, okay, how can I remove the preview? Dot bond reduction, no. Just remove the, remove all attached assets, because remove the preview. Okay, dual gun right, add preview, then. Why did the second one disappear? I don't know if I like that entirely. Back, yes, down, yes. I know this is the same scale as the other one, and if there will be different scale, then that might be a bit funky. We'll have to close all of these. Okay, that's better. Why isn't the second one setting though? Oh, other one is setting. Just other one is really okay. So only left worked. Why only left? Right now we did set up the right dual gun right. That's why. Yes! It's screwed up, obviously. You can see clearly that it's screwed up. But it's screwed up for a decent reason, actually. It's screwed up because, you see, it's just that these don't quite fit. So over here on the left, add preview asset, Deventa. Well, actually, they might do fit. These do seem to fit, but the placement doesn't. So we have to place the right one. There we go. More to the left, more forward. Also, that fits over here, but doesn't fit right here. It's because this gun appears to be larger. Is it? I don't think it is. Maybe it is. Maybe this one's just tilted. That's a possibility. Oh, the fingers are completely placed in a different way. Yep, the fingers are completely placed in a different way. That's annoying. Although this size does seem to fit better, actually. There we go! We have dual guns! Oh boy, oh boy. We can switch weapons. Yes! The system which I wanted to work works exactly like I wanted it to work. Oh, it's so refreshing to actually have something work exactly like I wanted it to for once. It's perfect right now because every single weapon is like a separate thing. It's not that we have, let me just, like normally the way you should do these sort of things in games is to have like a weapon class, for example a rifle, right? And then basically from this class, from this like main class, you create child classes so all of them are like the same class. They are all still this. The only difference is that they vary in mesh, material, and stats. Everything else is the same. Like, you know, if you notice in the games, all of the weapons have the same animations, most of the time also same reload, stuff like that. They differ ever so slightly, but that's why you have sockets to place, you know, to match those exactly. In my case though, it's different, because every single weapon, it's kind of like its own being. It's different. Every single weapon will be different, which sounds like a downside, but is an upside if you want every weapon to be different. So that gives me a lot of flexibility to actually make those weapons different, so that when you switch the weapon, your gameplay changes. Because I don't want like different weapons to be only like, oh, you know what, this weapon looks cooler, so I'll use it, even though, or this weapon has broken stats, that's why I'll use it. Because that's not interesting. That's, you know, maybe it's like game-like, right? But it's not interesting. When you discover a new weapon, then you get excited by the stats, not by the gameplay possibilities. So I want to change that. I want to actually, when you get a new weapon, you get excited about, oh my goodness, what does it do? Am I going to turn into a tank? Am I going to turn invisible? Or am I going to turn into a spider monkey? That's kind of our goal. Which is festive, because right now, we went through the boring part of the stream. We did. All of the changes to animations, I don't care about that, because that's visual junk, which we will be able to fix. Which means now we go to the interesting part. Are you there, Tifta, by the way? I'm just wondering, because my YouTube stats recently have been, well, not recently, since quite the beginning, let's just say unreliable. Oh, I love this part. This part will be fun. Okay, we have one more hiccup to go through before we go to the actual fun bit. That hiccup will be actual gun shooting. Unreal Engine 5 FPS tutorial, and let's find like some sort of long tutorial, like a playlist would be preferable. What do you mean no results found? How is it possible there are no results for this? How? What? FPS tutorial series. 5 hours long, mate. Like this, maybe. You may be dumb. I know I may be dumb. I even have some proof that would tell me that I am dumb. That's not interesting because this one already has enemies. This has an enemy system.
Hello, in this tutorial I'm going to go over
Target blueprint, yeah, so don't care that much.
better if they want to
Target, you're making the target, we spent 5 minutes on making target move. How easy then is making the gun? Creating a UI display the score. Windscreen. You spent 3 minutes making windscreen and... Wait, are you using just the default gun mechanic?
with this system, and then what you can do now, and then what you can do next, and shoot it.
Using the default. Oh, I just got clickbaited by the thumbnail. Oh, what's the song? I know it. Nah, no, I don't. It's Ghostlight. Yeah, I know the song. I just didn't know the title. FPS tutorial. Firing a gun. Weapon firing, that sounds
Hey,
like...
what's up creators? Today we're going to be showing you how we can set up our fire.
And you lost me. No, I didn't like that intro. One bit. No, I'm not going back there. As you just lost me in the first 5 seconds. Absolutely not. If someone starts the video, the tutorial like this, I am not sticking around. I watch tutorial for the educational value, not for the prettiness. And the best example of that would be OLC. That's Javid. Javid is the best example of that. Because Javid isn't like in Javid's videos. I've been watching Javid. I haven't been watching in Javid videos for a while, mostly because I've moved away from C++, but Javid is actually the one that with whom I started. So yeah, this is where I learned programming. This is genuine I learned programming. Before I even programmed in C, I started with C++ with Javid. My first game was made from a tutorial on how to make like a simple game engine, like simple game engine setup for making a game. It was like a boilerplate video to explain the boilerplate cover this, and then I made my second game using the OLC Pixel game engine. There were kind of two only games. They were all in 2D and they were just normal like startup stuff. And this is actually great because Javid isn't like doing any of these clean looking things. For example, you know, spending 3 days only to set up the lights to have this perfect clickbaity look. But instead, Javid's videos look like this.
Welcome to the first of a two-parter about spatial acceleration.
Oh, that's I hate it for nostalgia.
In particular, I'm going to be discussing the quad tree.
And then just goes on to explain the math, the logic, the code. It's actually great. Look at this. And these are actually very well made explanations on some very important topics. That's why I think we need more Javids. And less Wordavos. I don't know. But I don't want to talk about them. They may be a good person. It's just they may be a good YouTuber. It's just I dislike people spending that much time on those things because they don't spend more time on the video. You have to understand that time is a finite resource when it comes to making these videos, and because of that, when you spend so much time on making the video look clickbaity, then you don't really have that much time to make the actual video. Sneak eye tutorial, maybe no. Firing. So firing a gun, bullets and stuff and whatnot. Shoot a projectile, yeah, but like shoot a bullet. I like this thumbnail because it looks like it's picked from a video, which means they...
By following this tutorial, you will learn how you go from this to this. For this machine gun, we will be editing here inside of the content. But that's
Yeah,
the BP
okay.
rifle. And first, so I go
But
quickly here over
The question is, are you shooting it?
camera reference.
Okay, let's see.
Distance. With our gun range, so create a variable gun range.
Where's the music?
Compile. Let's.
I like
make
it.
this a
Okay,
float.
okay.
Use the gun range. Set it like this.
What are you using
Go to
for it
items.
exactly? You're using a line trace, and then what are you doing? Spawn, emit at location. So you're spawning at location. You are spawning the particle thing. Okay. We could then use the. So you're just using that. That would mean not quite what I want. Not quite what I want, because then there isn't any projectile flying through the air, is there? No, it's instantaneous, but a good tutorial. Unreal Engine ammo widget. There is a tutorial to a widget! Just have to listen, if you want to make a game with a good widget, just have to Tefta. You need your Tefta. Shells ejection. No, I'm just looking for a normal shooting thing. Shoot projectiles stuff forward. Ammo system, no. Shooting projectiles? Yeah, kind of. Magic, not quite my thing. More of a gun person. Although I would like, if we had magic in real life, I would totally Doctor Strange the shit out of this magic.
Gravity. And we open it up.
Okay.
So let's see how to add to a variable. I can add.
Beautiful asset.
Well, I made the speed 100, not 1,000. Okay, now it's 1,000 around the target, but here it's a from vector and a to vector. Target moves. So at 0, that means
Targets I don't
So all it
quite want. Although, ooh, that's a nice option to have in your back pocket, though. A homing system. We could add a rocket to our heavy military rifle as an ability. Well, I mean, Tifta is designing Tifta is indeed designing the icons for this, so I should add it here. What do I have for the weapon type example? Militria. We had running, triple jump, stronger shot. Stronger shot could be the stronger homing shot. There we go. I think this tutorial might have what we need. Adding a targeting system.
now it should work.
Maybe. Line trace based shooting. Maybe. Are you doing the right away line trace so on point, or are you doing it with a projectile?
Projectile based launching project race, unlike like detect gun. I'll just do a line trace and detect if it is a hit or not. So that is more suitable for a gun like a machine gun.
I like that. Could be to save in the back pocket for the future. So projectile
back here to
actor and
Oh yeah, you as well. Over here, float.
for the
down
projectile
range,
actor I won't need much,
RP's variables.
but projectile
Over here in the
actor will
constructions.
have the construction. Oh, okay, there. All right, we can do that. So new folder. Oh, actually, ammo. That might be misleading. To be fair, I'm making it for myself, so who cares? Ammo and Militria rifle. Heavy Militria. It's now canonically heavy Militria. Yeah, that's no longer Militria because I screwed up naming. So blueprint ammo Militria, and this will be basic. It's a long name. I just had a friend in high school with that name. And right now what we want is first of all add a sphere, which will be smaller. If I could just ever so slightly reduce its size, that would be great. There we go. And when it comes to this material, we would like a different material, so add a material, which would be material Militria ammo. It should be ammo Militria, but oh well, I already did that, doesn't actually matter. Emissive color, so RGB. Oh yeah, that was the issue, I now remember. Color. So what was vertex color? Emissive color? How am I supposed to edit that? Particle color, vertex color. It's not the vector color, only vertex color. Okay, I misread. I just want a color. That's all I want. Linear, luminance. How would the color work for other weapons? Like for the red material, wherever it is. I don't actually know where it is. Engine content. Oh boy, it's a lot of stuff. Engine materials. Oh, it's constant. There we go. A yellow, because it's that's the theme kind of color of the thing. Emissive color, and now is there like emissive? Yeah, but now I would really like to. Add emissive. How can I change like the emission? Have it subsurface profile, physics material. No. Nanite override. I no. Translucency. Wait, one. Right, I have to be good enough for now. Alright. So we have the thing.
Script.
Now we're just doing... Okay, now we're just doing construction script. Okay, that actually makes sense. Because when the ammo is constructed, then it... Yeah. Okay, that's logical.
Pull
I like
from
it.
our projectile movement and say set initial speed. And that's going to be our speed variable.
Okay, so we'll have the... Wait, initial speed. That's not a thing here, which means... Wait, what?
I'll use save and add maybe slider 1. Float left, let's add one many variable called speed. That's going to be of type float.
Yeah,
you
so...
can also limit also. Now let's use these variables.
Floating
Over
gravity,
here,
that
a
makes sense.
set script.
Get
pull from
projectile
our
movement.
projectile movement. Over here in the construction script,
You added stuff. I see.
like a default speeds for both initial and max speed, 500. Now
Projectile movement, okay. Add projectile movements. Yep. Initial speed. $3,000? Is it the same as the player? Because then maximum speed 10,000. I just feel like projectile gravity scale should be 0. I wanted to go straight forward. There are times in games when gravity to the bullets, when bullets should have gravity, but this isn't the type of game. It ain't that type of game.
Now if I click simulation, it's moving.
Wait, I can just simulate that? Yeah, I'd say that's... Maybe I need it to be smaller. And this one should be ammo. I feel like still not quick enough.
Great. I can also take this and put it into our world here. So it starts moving as well. So we can sure it doesn't appear but be of type float. Now
And now we're adding speed
let's
and
use these
gravity.
variables.
Speed being...
Over here in the construction script, pull from our projectile movement.
Okay, so in the construction we'll have projectile movement, we'll have the speed, which is a float, and then gravity. Actually, I can see where that would be helpful. Although it's more of a general idea, nice to keep in mind, but not really that helpful right now. Gravity will still be 0.
And say set.
What you doing? You're setting the initial speed
Clean this up
and
a bit.
setting the max speed to...
And that's also going to be our speed variable. And finally set gravity.
Okay, makes sense. So we're just setting up everything that okay. Set initial speed, set max speed, and set gravity. My notes are a mess, but I'm working this project alone, so I need to clean them up.
And that's going to be our gravity. Now you want them both, you want all of these three to be instance editable and expose on spawn. So
You mean these instantable exposure spawn? What does it do? Should this variable be exposed as a pin when spawning his blueprint? Oh, that's convenient, yeah. That is convenient. Yeah, okay.
so that we
I can see where that
want
would
them
be
both,
helpful.
you want all of, so nice. Now if so I want it to be blocked by objects. So I'm going to edit the collision here to be block all dynamic instead of overlap all. Now,
I don't feel completely comfortable with that setup though.
Yeah. Where is the fire?
Why do you have so many guns? Chill with the guns. Give me a second, because I actually think I think I found one person. Could be neat. UE5 BP Guru. For the stream, I found this playlists. This playlist, I think. No idea. 31 videos. This one, and episode 1 of them has Adding weapon, weapon reload, weapon to player, adding weapon fire. That's the one.
I'm just going to call this one event.
And how are you firing? Begin play, you're setting active cameras.
Project settings, because
They have a very clean workflow, so I kind of trust them.
that's like so. Have to add the
But it's very limited. Pistol rifle will have to set up differently, definitely. But add muzzle, reasonable.
and it's also got some people set do this
How do you fire?
second sequence but delay for
Gate, enter, open, and close on stop. That's it. On stop fire. Okay, I suppose it makes sense, but
that's fires.
that's how we set up the delay. Okay. Wait, but start firing and stop firing. What are these?
Need to do
Oh, these are
one-
custom, and you said it right now. Okay, so how do you set them up later on?
you
And then yeah, and then basically fire once the delay is finished.
because
Makes sense, but
could only do it for the first person. Basically,
I really thought that you would just
turn
do it with a print string to kind of check it, but and you're playing sound for fire, makes sense.
also
And then you're spawning the
So-
actor of
put that into B and
impact point trace end. Oh, and if it hits, then okay, if it hits, then the impact point. If it doesn't, then the trace end. And then you just
so.
spawn actor with the initial. The rotation of the. That is, yeah, smart. But what I'm looking for is kind of what do you do for the start fire and stop fire now. So spawning with, oh boy, yeah, this is well made. Oh my goodness gracious me. Start firing for what? If
We
you
wanna
press the thing, then start firing.
start firing. Sorry, stop firing. And that should, in theory, be good to go for now.
But then
Let's
if you
give it
press,
a go.
then
Let's
you will
get our
start
rifle.
and you won't end.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I know we're out of ammo. We need to change.
How do you
okay.
end firing though?
Um,
I suppose you could end
start
firing uncompleted.
fire.
Oh yeah, I'm such an
Start
idiot.
fire pistol, but bad.
This is such a good way to do it actually.
And that should, in theory, be good to go for now. Stop firing.
That is such a great way to do it. Okay, yeah, let's do it. And we'll do it for the Venta for now. And yeah, should be fine. So our ammo thing should be fine because it's just moving forward. That's kind of all we want. And now for heavy militaria, BP heavy, yes, so this is the correct one. Play montage, fire hit scan. Fire hit scan, 90 trace channel, and should we also include the actual firing? No, because fire hit scan is this. So in fire hit scan, what we would need is we would actually need to return some stuff. Add return node. What do we need to return in order to make that work? Well, we'll figure it out in a second, but first let's do, instead of event fire, Well, no, event fire we can keep. What we need is event start firing and stop firing. Yes. So in heavy, we have fire delay here, so we could do it here actually. Custom event start firing and custom event stop firing. There we go. And now sequence this to the gate, to open gate, this to enter gate, and stop firing to close gate, and this to sequence, which would then go to delay, for which we would get the fire delay. Makes sense. Use the fire delay for that, and completed would still once again open this, and this would then go for the fire. Actually, branch first is a smart idea, because then fire. Basically, if something goes wrong, then I mean, if we want to stop firing for some reason, we won't have ammunition, but like I was thinking about adding a mechanic where we would basically there would be a skill limit how much you can shoot a weapon before you have to switch a weapon. It's like to force the player to not only use a single type of weapon. I don't think I'll actually use that, because I would like to just give player more freedom. I don't like the idea of just stopping someone from using a weapon, because they might like it. And over here, get heavy weapon fire is not quite what we are looking for. Instead, start fire. Whoops. It's in BP heavy, isn't it? It is. And also over here we would need cancel. BP heavy general fire. Oh yeah, so over there we can totally have that. Great. But over here we will need start firing and like this, and then stop firing when completed. It surprisingly kind of worked. Fire delay. What if I change the fire delay to 1? Will it be 1 second? What if I change it to 10? So the delay of the animation is working. .1. This isn't working though. So if we start firing, we do this, so we need this to not be triggered, only on started, break to triggered. Wait, did this just work? That's ridiculous. I mean, it's not, obviously I made it to work, right? But did it just, with no problems? I could British there for a second, haven't I? That is festive. So we have the delay now. Delay, which in this weapon should be 0.1. It's a fast weapon. 0.1. I feel like the fire animation is a bit meh, don't you think? It's just like a bit meh. But I'm pretty certain that this animation is meh because we should, so excuse me, that was actually correct. 10 times faster? No, we'll have to also multiply that. So like by default it should be faster. It should be 12 times faster actually, if I'm not mistaken. I am wrong. So 12 frames does the animation. Actually should be 0.5. 0.1, what will happen then? What will happen? Zero point 0.05. 0.01, then it is. Oh wait, 0.1, I'm sorry. Yes! Okay, but what will happen if we now slow it down or speed it up or go and do something funky? So right now, fire delay, what happens if we first speed it up to like 5 times? Once again breaks, and if we slow it down to 1, it isn't playing the entire animation. Has to play on 1 has to play animation in 1 second. On 2 it has to play an animation in half a second, which means this should make sense. People could actually also press to do it quicker. But yeah, this works. So why doesn't it work for the faster ones? Because right now, if we do it in... we don't double the speed, because this is not speed. So on double the fire delay. Okay, yeah. And now heavy 0.2. Wait, fire delay is 0.2. Am I using fire delay for this? Fire delay, yeah, fire delay has a play rate. Oh, and this play rate is inverted. Alright, never mind then. Division. Break this link, set that to 1. So in that case this is 0.5, then should play. It's playing 5 times faster, but it's also making the animation like 5 times less, which no, that doesn't kind of make sense much. I want animation to still be big. We also should stop people from pressing, so that they cannot like click all the time to fire the weapon over and over. Any ideas for how to do that? Stop firing and with a boolean, obviously. That's crazy. Yeah, let's see. Is firing. Was firing. No, actually more appropriate. Was firing, set was firing. So if you start firing, set was firing to true. There we go. And then over here, delay for the duration of get delay, fire delay, and then set was firing to false, and we'll set up a branch. So if was firing, then you can't fire. And now I can start firing because the default of this should be, this should go through a not. Actually, doesn't have to go through a node. I just have to use it as false. Break true, because otherwise it's kind of pointless. It works. Okay, now let's set the fire delay to something like a 1 to actually check if it works. Now it's firing really slowly, but if I press, it's not getting any quicker. Great! Bonk! And bonk! Bonk! Why isn't the montage getting, like, why isn't the montage large when you're playing it quick? Unreal Engine play montage is doing, well, exactly what? Changing animation, play montage, play rate is, well, screwing animation, play rate in real time, montage, play rate issue. When I try to play montage, the attacker does not scale with it, only notifies is triggered. You can change play rate of the animation file used by the montage to match the rate of the montage. Oh. Well, play rate of animation file used by the montage. Okay, so I have to go to the visual animations, heavy, fire. Don't mind. And if I change it to a 5, would that work? Yes, set to 1 second, but heavy to 0.2. No, it didn't. It just did not. That's no fun. That should work. It didn't quite. Play rate with a cloak F. Play montage. Maybe the play rate is changing something different too. Float single. This is not the. No, it's a new one. I call this up. Yeah, but what the montage is playing is kind of, you know, funky. Something is off clearly. You could break the play rate. I mean, if you set to 5, it still would be an issue. If I set to 10, well, then it would be even more of an issue. It's actually not as much. If I set 2, then it will. If I set 1, it's actually correct. That's interesting. Okay. Now what we need is to set up the rest of this amazing, wonderful system. And by that I obviously mean just take our... Well, I have to first check what we need to take from our function, of our hit trace function. Well...
Away that
you're spawning actor based on it with a transform.
And then for the 2,
which exactly taking? That's HD. That's 4K. Well, no, that's HD, but they could have it in 4K. It still is auto. That's HD.
scale,
Great.
you can kind of just leave
That
it
is not HD. Why would you export the video in 4K if you're recording in 720p? Unless that was no, that's ridiculous. Wasn't it HD? The 4K.
And that transform
That is not a 4K quality.
then gets
That's ridiculous. So what vectors are you actually taking from this? Oh yeah, the depending on if it hits or not. That's right. Trace by channel and okay. So this is what we need in the BP heavy. In fire hit scan, we need the return node with return value, so whenever it hits or not, and then we needed also line trace by channel. Oh yeah, the out hit split that. Yeah, this hides our thing. So trace end, and also out hit location. Yes, and then in BP heavy. That's actually cool. We could have like some weapons which only fire if they are going to hit something, which is festive. So, hit trace. So select vector, out hit location, trace end. It's going to pick A if it actually hits something. Yes. And then spawn active from class. This class being ammo, military basic. Yes. Speed being 5,000. And we have to rotate it appropriately. Which I am. Get circuit location from the.
Next thing we want to do is.
Okay, so we need to get the muzzle, which we have set as a position actually. Right here, this is our muzzle. And you're setting into what? Get find look at position. Okay, makes sense. So looking from the muzzle. Okay, find look at rotation. So looking from the muzzle, and then from muzzle to that point, and then spawn that with a transform rotation, or which one actually? Transform a rotator by the supplied transform. No, to transform. Right, you're just transforming it.
Make a transform.
No, make a transform. That's probably a difference. Make a transform. Yeah, and then like this, and then once completed, then just fire, and maybe that could be it. Okay, these are very tiny. Actually, I might have kind of overestimated, but oh yeah, make the transform. Also, one more thing to it, I should add, probably, which is you should spawn in the muzzle position of the muzzle. That would certainly make sense. Yeah. And the ammo, you can be a bit bigger. Grow big and strong to be visible. Issue is we are hitting ammo. We are hitting ammo. We're hitting our own ammunition. So can we like detect whenever the hit thing is, you know, I mean we can, we're smart. So basically out hit bone name, no, out hit actor, get actor class get class, and then equal to ammo. If it's equal to ammo, then not it, not a boolean. If this would work, then I'm proud of myself, because that's a pretty neat code I made. Not code, this doesn't actually have code. Still green. Not cool. Not well. Green because it's hitting. Oh yeah, green because it's green because it's hitting. But this doesn't actually know the conditions. Yeah, can't really give it an actor. So I think this could be rather simple, because if we hit something, we can just modify somehow this actor. Set material to be this. Okay, please just tell me that floor is like excluded from collisions, because that would be so much easier. Add a cube. Don't save. No, it's hitting a cube. Oh, it's also hitting the floor. I'm an idiot. Just green, I didn't know this. What happens if I delete? Wait, half fire hit skin. And this. I'm setting it every single time, actually. So that doesn't quite matter what we're getting. That's what we're switching. How about branch if you hit something, then spawn? I don't think it's hitting the ammo. But ammo speed should still be higher. Let's be real, I mean, don't be ridiculous. It's a video game. There we go. And it's festive. And now we have that, we can just go straight for it. Compile and change the gun a bit by first of all changing the spread to be a 1, it'd be ridiculous. Fire delay to be 0.05 actually. Yeah, it's quick, but maybe 0.1 actually. Double it. There we go! Now we're firing, now we're cooking. And now if these balls do hit something, then we can do something with that. This is great, we have a firing system. Ah, it's so festive. The Venta actually is so much more complex because we have 2 guns, and because of that we'll have to change it so that we have so that every other projectile goes from a different muzzle. So setting up the Venta, I feel like I will leave it for a different stream, but for now what I still can do is I can set up the effects from the weapon. That'll be festive. But so far we can do like switch, right? Yes, we can. Actually, maybe I can set up the firing system for the Venta. It's not won't be that much. The only issue, well, really the only issue is the fact we have 2 muzzles, which, to be fair, it is a big issue. It's not a little one, but it's also manageable. So the Venta, event fire. Actually, kind of nice that the fire speed is already set up on something else, so I can just work on this. Our issue right now would be that you see, you see. First of all, this shouldn't recompile. Exactly. Festive. Not for the reason I was expecting. BP Master Diventa. It's the wrong thing. Can connect ping Master Military. Oh my goodness. BP Master Diventa. Object reference. Change variable type. Still doesn't work because 10 value to break this. And now you're breaking because of this, right? This is Diventa. How are you having a problem with that? I don't. Tag as BP Heavy General. Ah, this shouldn't be. Oh my goodness, it's just so impossible. Actor. This is an actor object reference. No actor. Actor. That's it. Actor object reference. There we go. That works. Festive. Do you know? Could not find a variable name BP master reference in BP dependency. You mean this BP master reference? You mean this? This one? How about now? Could you find it? Muzzle nav. Yeah, they do not have muzzle nav. I know. That's why we'll have to do some real fun right now. We'll have to get some real fun stuff. Because you see, we have two guns, and there's a problem. How is this actually working normally? Oh, because okay. So the way we have to do it right here is we have to get these. We have to cast them. Get these. Cast to BP. Cast to BP Master Diventa. Both of them. And then we'll have to get the muzzle. How do we get the muzzle? Well, I am so glad no one asked. We do it by going into blueprints. No, going to visual blueprints, weapons. There it is. Diventa, this, and we just add a nav link. Present. That's what we used for the muzzle. There we go. And now we can rename it as nav muzzle. And then get nav muzzle. And there we go, we have two of them. That actually was easier than I expected. So now we just cast them like so. We assume that the cast won't fail. Because, yeah. And now we can do this. What do you mean this will always fail? Does not inherit from child actor component. Just trust me on this one. Is that really so hard? Oh boy. Just trust me. Set child actor. You see, these are set. event equip works. Ah, why you like this? Oh boy. We could nav mazu 1 as a vector, nav mazu 2 as a vector, and then we can just get those like we've already gotten world location, and just like that we could then over here take these, paste them right here like this, and after they are cast, take this. Get this location, yeah, now set nav mazu 1. And set nav mazu 2 with another gettable location. Would this work? You still have an issue. So you mean to tell me, because okay, you mean to tell me does not inherit from child actor component when I'm literally setting this class right here. I'm setting this class right here to then go into this for this to tell me that it failed. It didn't fail, it just cannot do it because I need this part of logic, which is right here. I don't. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Does not inherit from. You are unbelievable. Get class. Can I from this class actor? Just get actor. Get components by tag. Okay. Getting me more interested. Because right now I don't have to cast. I can just set. Which means we can go to the BP master, there we go, and we can set its tag as muzzle. Tags didn't work for me in the past, but I'm certain that they work now. Get? Was it get? It was get. There we go. But at the same time, just to be like certain, let's print test. Print this. No, just in case. Not saying wrong, but we probably wrong. Well, I'm wrong. Oh yeah, get class. get what location. Wait, well, why the book right here? Scene component. Tag muzzle. Excuse me. Actor component object reference not compatible with scene component object. What? Get what location? Why did it walk over there but not over here? So like get now it works, cool. So glad. I'm pretty certain that get components get parent component, no. It's kind of get child components. Not quite. Setting is setting it kind of. And this is equip. Cool. Oh, it compiled on its own. That's neat. Test and nothing. Alright, yeah. Yeah, I saw it. Which means that we could to be fair, we're then setting this. So wait, get child component. Component singular. Oh, because you're getting this. Oh yeah. Wait, get children components. Child component. Can I drop it right here? Get component. Wait a second, how did I get the muzzle right here? As a BP master reference, as a reference to the thing. BP master, which I got, how? Like this. Get actor of class. We could get actors, no, it wouldn't really work. Get actor of class, I got it here. Can recast to them. That's a big issue. How about cast to class? I don't know. I'm pretty sleepy and I still have a lot of work to do apart from the stream. How long has the stream been going? 3 hours. Huh. Really having fun. Get class something with class. Cast to class. Cast. What can we cast to? No, different kinds of classes. Cast to class. And then value is also a class. I can get this class straight away. Kind of the issues. We have these guns, they don't quite work. Oh well. We can also do pick vector, was it? Choose vector. just used it a couple of seconds ago. I think in the heavy generalized, not mistaken. Select vector, right? Yeah, I'll leave it for the next stream. It's been 3 hours. It's late. It's late, but fortunately I have coffee and I have 3 videos to finish. So for now, that'll be it. Thank you everyone so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.